Yes, it is Monday, and to kick off the week with positive energy, this is Panita's Tune-Tastic.
Every week we wonder what's coming next with Panita and Tune-Tastic, and we're about to find out. She's back in the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good. Did you have a good week?
Yeah. Pretty good week. Weird weekend. Mosquitoes are still out.
Yeah, it is mosquito season. It's worse now than in the summertime, isn't it?
I guess so, because they're survivors.
Exactly. All right, so let's get started. I'm very excited about our artist today. You have a quiz question first, though.
I do. When someone serves as a role model for others and inspires them, we can say he or she is number one, indifferent, number two, influential.
Once again, please.
When someone serves as a role model for others and inspires them, we can say he or she is number one, indifferent, number two, influential.
If you know the answer, use our Bondi board or Kakao Talk or text in on your cell phone, pounder sharp 1045 for 50 or 101, depending on the length of your text. We are giving away a guitar. All right, so tell us about today's musician.
Today's musician, I don't know if you heard that late last week, the awards season for prestigious people.
Nobel Prizes.
That's right. And this artist won the most prestigious award you can possibly get as a songwriter, in my opinion. Some people were wondering if he deserved it, while others praised him for his accomplishments. I'm not sure if our listeners are familiar with the name Robert Allen Zimmerman, who briefly went on to Elston Gunn, and finally changed it to the name we all know him by, Bob Dylan.
We talked about it in the headlines last week, the fact that Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize for literature, and I think it was a surprise to a lot of different people, right?
I think so. He's the first singer-songwriter, actually, to win the award. So we're going to take a look at one of his biggest hits. Now, I actually didn't grow up with a lot of his music. Did you?
No, I did not. He was a bit before my time.
Okay, well, I don't think a lot of people, even when it was their time, were a big fan of Bob Dylan. Both Like a Rolling Stone and A Rainy Day Woman, number 12 and 35, reached number 2 on the Billboard charts in 1965 and 1966, respectively, but none of his own 58 singles have ever managed to reach the top.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? He is one of the biggest names in the music industry, obviously, because he just won the Nobel Prize for literature, and his songs are so prolific as well, and they've been covered so many times, and he's such an amazing poet, but none of the 58 singles went to number one.
No, and I think that's the reason why he won the award, is because people were comparing his lyrics to like Homer, the author of Odyssey and things like that. And people were saying that Homer's work was also supposed to be meant to be melodic. It was supposed to be played with music in the background. But nonetheless, he is a great singer-songwriter. He's also written songs like Mr. Tambourine Man, which actually the Byrds covered that song, and that reached number 1 at 1965.
So covers of his songs have gone to the top of the charts, but not his versions of the song.
Sure. So same with the song that we're going to be learning about today, Blowing in the Wind.
One of the most famous songs in the world, right?
I'm not sure.
You didn't know about this song?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
So he claims that he wrote the song in about 10 minutes one afternoon.
Yeah.
And he had to play this at a nightclub or a cafe or whichever venue he was at. And since he wrote it the day of, he couldn't remember what the lyrics were, so he had to make up the words as he was going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did he stick with those words?
Or I don't know, or he couldn't read his own handwriting, or maybe he just couldn't understand what he wrote or remember.
Yeah.
That's the reason why a lot of people might love him, because he's not too, I guess, Hollywoodified.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He doesn't have that
too mainstream,
that Kanye West attitude about him. Is what you're saying, I think. He was a folk hero, that's why. He was a folk music singer, and he sang songs kind of for the people, I think.
Sure, and I think for the people, exactly, I think this is, a lot of people say that this is his like a political anthem or a peace anthem, but he said it's not a protest song or anything like that because he doesn't write about protest songs or whichever, but a lot of people took it to heart. And this song, Peter, Paul, and Mary, another trio band, cover the song, and that made it to #2 in the U.S. And ever since then, people started listening to Bob Dylan, knowing who he was, what he was all about. And then the song was indicted to the Grammy Hall of Fame back in 1999.
Wow, the song is in the Grammy Hall of
Right,
Fame. That's
yeah.
pretty impressive. All right, so we have a clip of the original.
Sure, let's take a listen to that.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand?
He's kind of famous, too, for not being the world's greatest singer.
Or not enunciating.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very unique sounding voice. But obviously, it's good enough to win people's hearts over, yeah?
Sure, I think the melody, the lyrics says it all. It sells it all, too. And so many people have made their own rendition of it. I don't know if you're familiar. I'm not even familiar with Eddie Albert or Eddie Arnold, Dwayne Eddy. People from Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley, Cher, Neil Young, they've all tried to sing the song.
Yeah.
And I think it's the most covered version or the most covered song of his. Stevie Wonder actually did this as well. And
Really?
he was the first black artist, or African-American artist, to take on his song, which went on to the U.S. top 10, and his version went to #9 in 1966.
Bob Dylan's most covered song. Not
Yeah.
surprising, I guess. So you mentioned Peter, Paul, and Mary. They did a version of it.
Yeah, it's so surprising. So how we do the music industry is one company or one label has many managers, and under those managers there are many artists as well. So this one manager was taking care of Bob Dylan and Peter, Paul, and Mary. So he heard the song that Bob Dylan performed first and didn't think that Bob Dylan would do too well. And took it to Peter, Paul, and Mary. They recorded it in one take, apparently, and it released as a single the following month, and it rose to #2.
Isn't that amazing, though? Some music manager watched Bob Dylan in the 1960s stand in a studio and sing this song that would become one of the world's most famous songs, and that manager said,
I don't think it'll cut it.
not.
But then again, if it wasn't for
Yeah.
that manager and Peter, Paul, and Mary, do you think that it would have gotten up there?
Maybe it wouldn't have gotten the same bit of exposure that it did, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's listen to their version, Peter, Paul, and Mary singing Blowin' in the Wind.
How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand?
They don't look particularly happy to be singing that song.
No, I think
Looks like they had something bad for lunch.
they're focused, maybe.
Maybe.
But I guess this type of acoustic sound was really popular in the 60s and 70s. Maybe that's the reason why this version topped off Bob Dylan's.
That guy really wants everybody to see his guitar.
Look at me. Sam Cooke also did his version.
Oh, Sam Cooke, so good.
Yeah, what are your favorite songs of his?
Oh, I don't know if I have one and I forget the title of it right now. Change is gonna come.
A Change is Gonna Come.
Yeah.
Mine too. Seal did a great version of that too.
Yeah.
But he took a lot of influence from Bob Dylan, talking about going back to whether it being a peace anthem or a political song or anything like that. He recorded this song after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and after that, it kind of inspired hope, but it also had a little bit of anger as well. And he said that this could easily have been about racial injustice and thought it had a very special relevance in the black community as well. So let's take a listen to Sam Cooke's version.
How many times must a man look up before he sees the sky? Tell me, how many years must the one man ever before he
totally different feel to it, though,
It's a
right?
completely different color, and I think
Yeah.
that's the reason why Sam Cooke is so amazing. Do you know a band called Vintage Trouble?
Yes, I do.
I think they took a lot of influence from Sam Cooke.
That's well said. Yeah, I would agree with you. All right, so we're going to listen to a song, but before we get there, can we have your quiz question one more time, please?
Sure, when someone serves as a role model for others or inspires them, he or we can say he or she is number 1, indifferent, number 2, influential.
Thank you very much. Once again, use our Bundy board, use Kakao Talk, or text in on your cell phone, pounder sharp 1045 for 50 or 101, depending on the length of your text. Remember, we are giving away a guitar. All right, so when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the lyrics, and I'll take a crack at this as well. Here's Bob Dylan, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Another great Bob Dylan song, and Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Okay, so we're talking about the song. We're talking about a different song today, though, Blowing in the Wind from Bob Dylan, and now it's time to learn a little bit more from the lyrics.
That's right. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Right, so you can see in the lyrics, he's posing a lot of questions that don't have an answer.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit repetitive. And for me, the third line, yes, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? I think it's still relevant today. I mean, this was written so many years ago, and especially since there's so many shootings in the United States, you know, how many times do we have to learn about shooting in a school, whether it be little kids or, you know, students in high school or in college before guns are banned? So
Yeah.
I think he's definitely making a statement here.
And he says the answer is blowing in the wind. And if you look that up on the internet, what does that mean? The answer is blowing in the wind. Well, it's open to interpretation because it's a poem, right? It's a metaphor. So people have different answers on the internet for what it means. But the more common one is it's an answer that you have to feel, not grasp. So again,
It's not tangible.
It's not a tangible answer. So therefore, who knows? Who knows what the answer is
Sure.
basically it. Yeah. All right. So you're going to teach me how to sing this then?
I think if you know this song, you might have to teach me. Flip the tables here. But I'll take a crack at it.
Okay.
Try first.
Okay.
How many roads must a man walk down
Not my tempo.
before you call him a man?
That's better. Thank you.
How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Is how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
It's fantastic. What are you talking about? You don't know this
yeah,
song? That was amazing.
it's different because you know Bob Dylan as like a bit of like a narrative as he sings.
Yeah, almost like sing talking.
It's like grungy
yeah,
too.
right. Do you want to sing it together instead of just me? Because that's a lot slower.
Do you not have confidence?
No, I don't. Do you not know me? Okay, let's try it again. You can join me if you like. Then.
All right.
How about that? Okay. Why is the music different?
Because it's a male key.
Oh, tell me when to start.
Go.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? I'm turning it into a country song. How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand?
That's tricky for me too.
Join me. How many times must the... You're not joining me. Cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend... Did I get it right?
I don't know.
It is the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Oh my goodness, that's a lot harder to... Maybe Bob Dylan was a great
My
singer.
friend is blowing in the wind. There you go. Answer is blowing in the wind.
Oh, my. Well,
That was a fail.
that was a fail.
I'm very sorry.
That was a fail. My teacher's hard on me,
죄송합니다.
but there's only one way to learn, and that's through failure. I'm going to practice that one.
Now we know how not to sing it.
I've never sung that song before. I just realized, and I never will again.
Excuses. That is 비명? Is that what it's called? 병명?
Can we have the
병명.
answer
There we go.
to your quiz question, please, Panita?
All righty. Let me get that.
When
question
someone serves as a role model for others and inspires them, we can say that he or she is, number one, indifferent, number two, influential.
And of course, the answer is number one, influential.
Influential. And congratulations to you, Kim Chae-bon-nim. You are going to be the winner of the guitar for this morning. Well done to you. Panita, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you have a good week. We'll see you next time.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's going to do it for the morning special for this Monday morning. Thank you very much for being with us today, and please do come back again tomorrow. Dr. Kim Byung-ju joins me in the studio for Global Talk. For today, I've been Steve, and to finish the program, it's another one of Bob Dylan's amazing songs. This one's Like a Rolling Stone. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.
You thought they were all